I'm going to show you how to do product research on eBay, totally free without any paid software. And in order to do that, I'm going to use, for one, keyword tool to help me find keywords that people are actually searching on eBay. I'm also going to use a Google Sheet template that I created, which is going to help you access the purchase history that is no longer public or no longer provided on the listings on eBay. And the other thing is using eBay itself to actually just search on eBay and look at the products that are selling. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with keyword tool. So the thing is, eBay is a very large website and people are constantly searching for products on eBay. And keyword tool is a tool that actually shows you what people are searching on all of these different sites. So what I'm going to do is go to find keywords on keyword tool and then eBay, because I want to specifically look at eBay. Now at this point, all you really have to do is think of a word. Also select the country, the region. If you want to do a global search, you can do that. I'm in the US. I plan to sell to people in the US, so I'm using the US. Now, I'm going to use something very random. For instance, pancake mix. I'm a person who likes the grocery category, and I'm going to just type in pancake mix and then click on this search button. And what this does is it gives me some of the different, all these different keyword searches that having to do with the term pancake mix. Now, with free keyword tool, we don't get all of the search trend and volume information, but they do give you hints to some of that information sometimes, because they want you to see what's available in the paid version. So we can even use this to our advantage and, concentrate on something that shows up with a very high upward trend. But really anything on here, we know that is being searched because it shows up on the list. But I'm going to go ahead, for instance, and take this first search. This has an actual brand name in the search, which is good as well. And I'm going to take that over now to eBay and just search buckwheat pancake mix. By doing that, I'm literally seeing what people who are searching for this, what they're actually seeing. Right now, I'm seeing what they are seeing. All right. So now the thing is, we can talk about how to sort. All right. What I've been doing lately is I've been sorting this by, in fact, actually, before I can do that, for one thing, you want to use filters, and so you might consider putting it on sold listings, for instance. Although it's a good idea to go ahead and look and get an overall idea of what people are selling it for, you may want to go straight for one to your item location, which in this case for me is US only, and then two, sold items. Click on that. Okay, and this is actually showing me all the different items that sold. And I would suggest sorting it by ended recently. If you sort it this way, then you can see what has sold most recently. Because I don't necessarily want something, I want things that are selling now, right? That have sold more recently. So basically, as you scroll down, it goes a little further back in time, but you see all the different things that have sold. As far as what we actually looked for, buckwheat pancake mix. This is one here, organic buckwheat pancake mix. So here's a listing, and I'm going to go ahead and click it and open it in a new tab. Right now, there's a lot of information here. Of course, there's the price, there's how many of these sold. What I'm going to show you with the Google Sheet is how we can actually record the information of product listings that we like. So for one, I'm going to take the URL up here, copy it, go into the eBay template up here, and I'll just paste that where it says original eBay URL. And another thing I do, I suggest put entry number. I like to ID things, so the entry number is optional. By the way, you don't have to fill out everything that's here. This is a template. So with the template, I try to give you all the different things I think you might want. And here we can put like the title, so on and so forth, other information, the original list price, current list price. This is if you want to like keep coming back. So right now, if I'm just looking at the current price, that would be $15.20, for instance. I could just type that in, right? And that's pretty much how it works. And then any other information you want, but you could type in. But first of all, to get that information, I I have the purchase history link auto generated for you. And what that does is allows you to see the actual dates that these things sold, because it's not provided right there on the listing. That link is not here. It used to be, but it's not anymore. So this template will give you that link. Okay, it's generated automatically with this Excel formula. So now that you see the different dates that it sold, and you can see the amounts that it sold for, it gives you an idea of the price range it's selling for. We see that this is a higher price it sold for literally yesterday, December 4th. Today's December 5th. Okay. So now, the other thing, of course, is going to be actually sourcing the product. Now, you can do that manually. The thing is, today, there's so many things you can do. You've got Google Lens, right? You can search for Google Lens. You've got a Google on the title itself, which is usually enough. Just by Googling this title, it's not hard to find other examples of this, right? I often use Google Shopping, and I actually have an automation that automatically searches your product, these products on Google Shopping for you. But really, sometimes it's so easy to find a result, I don't even need to do that, right? I can just manually go right here and just open up one of these product results that comes up right away. And, you know, the fact that it's good to point out, the fact that this is new and here on eBay, there's always a good chance that the products are going to be new at some other supplier and quite possibly cheaper. So, right? There's a good chance of that. So basically, you see here, one-time purchase, $5.97. So, you know, it's considerably cheaper than it sold for here, which is $15.20. And we don't know what the shipping is yet, but we can find out. We know free shipping over 30. It's not over 30. So what you do is you go ahead and add it to the cart right away. Go to view cart. You want to get that out of the way very quickly with the supplier and find out exactly what the shipping charge is on this stuff. So it's $5 shipping, and we see the total for me with my tax is going to be $11.03. So, I mean, that's basically it, right? I know what the item is going to cost. I know the total. I know the shipping, right? So going back over to the product research template, I'm temporarily, for now, I'm just going to skip all of this kind of information. I'm mainly just concerned about profitability right now. And so what I'm going to do, before I even do anything more, I'm going to just focus on the supplier, number of units, and the price. I'm buying one unit. It's just one unit, right? And that's $5.97. Shipping is $5. The template uses formulas to calculate the cost for you. And the profit, we see, is $1.92 at the current last sold price. And with the ROI of 17, excuse me, 0.47%. So, okay, great, right? Shows some kind of profit in this case, right? Now, the thing is that there is other data that you might want to be able to pull here. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Before I do that, I mean, that's true, but there's something else I wanted to discuss here. When dealing with grocery, especially, right, you want to be careful to observe the sizes, the 22 ounces in this case, and then compare it to your supplier, because it makes a huge difference, right? Just because someone pays $15 for 22 ounces doesn't mean they're going to pay that for 5. So you need to know. These are actually the same. This is 1 pound, 6 ounces. And if you know your pounds and ounces, 1 pound equals 16 ounces plus another 6 ounces. That's 22. So it is exactly the same number of ounces. It says 22 here marked on the packaging. Actually, yes, it's on the packaging. It says 22. Yeah, it's the same. It's literally the same packaging. So this is why we should look at the images as well, right? So we can even get that information from the image. So it is the same, right? We see it's the same brand, Arrowhead Mills, all of that, right? So it is the same. So that's, you know, this is potentially a profitable product if you're drop shipping it. If you're drop shipping. Now, if you're not drop shipping, it could still be profitable. Because if you're not drop shipping, if you're doing arbitrage, what you could do is you can lose the shipping costs by buying more enough units to get the free shipping. And then if you can ship it to your customer for $5, you're also getting the same profit if you're going to arbitrage it, right? So it's just a matter of, with arbitrage, it's just a matter of that you have to buy more units sometimes to get that free shipping. Okay, and then there's also cash back and other things like that you can get into as well, right? Now, one thing too, though, I didn't have the tax there. You know, when you're doing arbitrage, the advantage is you'll know what your tax is for where you live. But if you're doing drop shipping, the tax is going to be all over the place. It could be as bad as 11% tax. At that worst case, your profit's going to be much considerably lower, but consider that many customers are also going to be, understand most areas do not, I actually analyzed it in my own sales data from thousands of sales. Most tax charges are not very high. They're not 11% and 10%. They're usually below that, right? So at 8% is a much more common expectation, or 7%. Okay, or maybe a 9%, something in that area. So 11% is really the very, very small minority of situations. Okay, that's like worst case. All right, so looking more in the middle at 7, 7.5, 8, you're still, you know, in some kind of profit here. Okay, now I've only looked at one product, so that's something to consider as well. Of course, you're going to look at more products and try to see if you can get more profit, right, from other products if that profit is not satisfiable, right? So now, the other thing I want to talk about here, demonstrate, is this eBay Data Extractor. So this is a tool, an add-on that I've created and added in from a library I've created to help extract data from eBay listings. And so the way this is going to work is that you're going to click on the URL. Here's the original URL, but then the clean URL is the one that makes this URL clean, nice. It gets rid of like all this stuff that's in it. So I'm going to go to eBay Data Extractor. You'll enter the user ID if you decide to get this. Then you would set the user ID. But after that, you would go to set column, and you'll do eBay URL. So you're telling it, hey, this is where the eBay URL is. And then set column title. This is where the eBay title is. Everything here has to do with eBay. It's an eBay Data Extractor. Then we have the current list price. If you want to get the price again later, you can set that to price. And then I don't have revision dates, but you can get them manually from history. I might actually add these, but down the road. Number sold, you can get that. Set column, number sold last 24 hours. So right now I'm just telling the tool where I want the data to go. And then last sold date, I do have that as well. Set column, last sold date. Updated, this means just the current date. Date updated, the date that you're basically pulling that data. And I think that's everything for eBay, right? And then the rest of this is supplier stuff. Okay, so then what happens is you click on eBay Data Extractor, start printing data, and it will just fill in that data. All right, I should actually delete the price so you can see that it actually is putting it in at the moment. You see that? So it gives you the title pops in, the current price, the number sold, the last sold date, and today's date, so we know the last time we looked at it was today, December 6th. Sold last on December 4th, 113 of them sold, and the current list price is $15.20. No, it doesn't give you the last sold price because this is not actually provided that way. So this is something you would still have to go into the purchase history to look up. This purchase history that we can view when we're signed into eBay is not public, and I can only scrape currently those public things, okay? And this is this form of scraping, for those of you who are more technical, it's not using API. This is a non-API. I'm scraping this directly from HTML. So this is why you're able to do this unlimited. You're going to be able to do an unlimited amount of scraping with this of this product data, and you can use it here in this template, but you could also use it in other ways, and I'll do more videos showing how you can use it on other sheets as well. But it's going to be useful for product research. I think it's going to be highly useful. And, you know, that's basically how that tool works. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish filling in the supplier data if I think I might be interested in this. So I'll go ahead and paste that here. Sorry, actually that goes in the, let me delete that. So source URL. This is the supplier, which is iherb.com. Right? The variation, if there is one, there actually is. It's buckwheat. The flavor. Right? So we know specifically what we're referring to here. Paste. Right? Is it in stock? Today it is. I'll say, yeah, shipping information. I mean, nothing here. Unless you want to say free, like free shipping over $30, stuff like that. Over $30. Right? It's just a good note to make for yourself. I have the tax, so using the kind of a median tax. Right? And then over here I have some other, I mean, you can add whatever you want over here, really, but I've added some other columns that I thought might be of some use, like if you decide whether or not you want to sell it, let's say yes, or maybe you don't know, how you're going to sell it. You're going to drop ship it, or you're going to do arbitrage. Let's say you decided to drop ship this because, that's something you can do. I actually personally have done a combination of things, like drop ship and arbitrage. I've kind of like done everything. So, there are different methods that I might want depending on the product. And then whether or not I've listed it, no, I haven't at this time. And if you do list it, you might want to, or how you're going to list it. Let's say I'm going to do this manually, using more obscure, using suppliers such as a supplier like this, that typically will not find a software that monitors the supplier. I do have some potential solutions for things like that as well, obscure suppliers, like my Get Data tool, which is similar to this, but it's more general. That might be able to help you pull data from suppliers as well into the sheet, but that's a whole another thing for another video. Basically, right here, I just wanted to show you this product research process. Found one product and how to actually just fill the data in on this Google Sheet template. And also, showing you how to use this actual data extractor. So if you want to get a copy of this, find the link in the description of this video where you can get a copy of the eBay research template. The data extractor will be pre-installed, and then if you want access to that, you'll get information on whatever is needed to do that as well, if that's something you're interested in. Otherwise, you can just use the template as is, just manually just typing things in. You don't necessarily have to use the data extractor. It's just a nice extra thing that I thought could be useful here in this sheet. And so that's about it. Just check the description of this video for links. Again, any comments, questions, or suggestions, just leave them below. I am Mr. Mark, and I look forward to hearing from you or seeing you around in another video.